Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amirul Kamal bin Suhaili Kamal, and today I'm going to talk about my bachelor degree project number 2, which is design and fabricate a low-cost mini electrical vehicle. I'm from the Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering Technology, Automotive Technology with honors. My name is Amirul Kamal bin Suhaili Kamal. My matrix number B071710383, and my supervisor is Encik Muhammad Sulhan bin Mukhtar. So for the introduction, an electrical vehicle is the future for a carbon-free transportation. And also, due to the technological development and increasing attention to renewable energy, electrical vehicle has rise in popularity. As you can see, there has been many brands of vehicle rising for the electrical vehicle. For example, Tesla, Audi also make an electrical vehicle right now, BMW, Mercedes, and much more. Also, an electrical vehicle has way less part and components compared to a internal combustion engine vehicle. And usually, an electrical vehicle has high torque and an instant power. For the objective of this project is to design and fabricate a low-cost mini electrical vehicle and to evaluate the product. The project scope and limitations. The design of the electrical vehicle should be simple, minimal, and uses low-cost components. It is also should be able to handle weight of an average person. The design should be simple enough so it should not take too much time fabricating, and uses easy to find components. For the literature review, what is an electrical vehicle? Well, according to Chan 1993, electrical vehicle is a combination of automotive, electrical, electronics, and chemical engineering. The overall efficiency of EVs can be improved by combining several technologies by Chan 2002. There are three major systems in EV, which is the energy source, the power converter, and the electrical motor. These are some of the key components of an EV. The battery charger, which is used to charge the battery, and the battery is transferred to the inverter, and inverter invert the power from the battery to the motor, which then move the vehicle. And also from the battery, it goes to the DC to DC converter to power up the vehicle computer and electronics. Now for the motor type. There are several types of motor, including the induction motor, synchronous motor, PM brushless motor, and switch reluctance motor. For methodology, we're going to start from the top, which is stating the problem, doing the literature review, submission of the design ideas. Then after that, go to the proposal of prototype designs, and then the design, material selection, and stress test through CAD, computer aided design. And if you get the result, either it pass or fail, we'll go through to the proposal again. After it pass, we can do the detailed design of the mini electrical vehicle. After that, purchase the material, components, and fabrication items. And lastly, fabricate the project, and that's all. We will finish. For the design ideas, there are several design ideas that has been inspired from. Some of it is like a go-kart, which is on the bottom right, a golf cart on the top right, and also a bicycle, two bicycles actually. combining two bicycle and a seat in between. Some of the prototype design testing, which is use the go-kart design, use the go-kart as a frame of the design, and did some stress test. As you can see from the front, on the top is the max total deformation. This is the max deformation if the load is on the front, and the load is on the rear, and to the right is the load on the side. As you can see, it can hold much load. And also this is for the bicycle design. As you can see on the top is if the frontal load is applied, frontal horizontal load is applied. For the stress is mainly on the connecting parts, and for the displacement is deformation displacement is on the frontal load area. And for road irregularity, as you can see, the von Mises stress is much less, whereas if for the deformation, it is mostly on the frontal area. Now for the components that is used and has been collected, which is a used bicycle, a used motorcycle batteries, a steel ladder from my old bag, and lastly an proton persona oil alternator. As you can see on the top right is the design language that I have chosen, and the components are mainly focusing on the design. For the fabrication process, first prepare the components which has been prepared and collected. Unfortunately, because of unavailability of equipment and restriction of time, the project could not be done. So it is an unfinished project. For result and discussion, these are several. For result and discussion, these are some of the total estimated costs for the components or the labor. And for the right side is the ringgit Malaysia. The bicycle is free because I found the bicycle at a disposable area and I took it home. The condition is mostly good. For the alternator, I bought it for around 100 ringgit from my friend. For the motorcycle battery, it is my own used motorcycle battery, and for charging the battery, it costs around 15 ringgit. For the steel tube, I also found it at the disposable area. Also, for some bearings that is used to hold the steel tube, it is around 50 ringgit. The chain is a used chain from the bicycle. The steel ladder is from my own personal item, which is just zero. It's a free. Also, a variable speed controller is used that I found from my old storage, and the total estimated cost is 165 ringgit. Right. The pros and the cons of this project. The pros and the cons of this project. The advantages is the pros and the cons of this project compared to a available market electrical bicycle. The advantages is the price of making it is much cheaper than buying the available electrical bicycle, and and also you can modify to suit the load. And also it is up to your creative ideas to design it however you want. For the disadvantages is, this project took a very long time to start and to finish in order to obtain the project. Whereas if you want a electrical bicycle, you can just buy it on the spot or order online. Also, there is no warranty for the product compared to available electrical bicycle. You also cannot charge the battery using conventional chargers, which the electrical bicycle have. And lastly, the finished product may or may not look as good as available market electrical bicycle. For the conclusion, the first objective of this project is achieved, which is using a computer-aided design, some sketches and small prototype to design the mini EV. Whereas the second project is to fabricate the design, but the objective was not achieved as the product was not done, could not be done. For the third objective, it is to evaluate the product. As the product is not finished, the evaluation cannot be done. So the evaluation that was done was only on speculation of the idea of the finished product. And lastly, the main result of the failure of this project is the failure of planning and execution of the project according to the time. These are some of the recommendations to improve for the next project. For this type of project, it is much better to make it into a group project, divide and conquer. You can split the project into multiple peoples and work together, focus on each part of the item. For example, designing for one person, selecting the motor and buying the motor is for the other person, and so on. Next is stick to the plan. Execute the plan early on. Do not wait. Just do what you can at the early stage. Next is save the progress. If you done the soft copy, make sure to save the progress early on and save it on somewhere safe. For example, another hard disk, or if you can save it on the cloud. And lastly, communication. Remember to always communicate with your supervisor, with your friends, with the group project members, team members. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you.